The OH media is not a commodity. So, who is commoditizing it? That is the topic that's going to be touched upon right now. Now, for this session, we are not going to be taking any questions, but we are definitely going to be listening very intently as we welcome on the stage our panelists and our moderator up first. Please welcome Mr. Vinay Pant, consultant. Good afternoon. Welcome. Can we please have you join us on stage? Good afternoon, Vinay. Thank you for joining us. We're looking forward to you moderating this session. Our panelists, beginning with Mr. Jaikishan Chapru, Head of Media and Brand PR at ITC. Welcome. Thank you for your presence this afternoon. The applause much louder as we welcome our next panelist. Please join me in welcoming Head of Media, Perfetti von Mel, Mr. Gaurav Soni. Good afternoon. Welcome. Much louder round of applause. The music and the applause. Joining us, Mr. Dipankar Sanyal, CEO, Platinum and MRP. Making your way onto stage this afternoon. Thank you for your presence here. And our next panelist, please join me in welcoming Mr. Abhijit Sengupta, CEO, OAP Media Tech. Good afternoon, welcome. Our next panelist joining us on stage is the Group Chairman, Sky Blue Media. Please put your hands together for Mr. Dato Manikandamurthy Velayodam. What an honor. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And our final panelist, please welcome Managing Director, Roshan Space Brandcom, Mr. Junaid Sheikh.
Okay, they usually say that the first panel after lunch is the most difficult one, right? Because people have had a stomach full. But here, I think with the kind of a panel that we have, I think that'd be next to impossible, right? We've got more than 200 years of experience sitting here. And therefore, this topic that we're talking about, I think is something that you'll be really keen to hear from. Now, we've been hearing this over the last two days that OH is growing. Still, there is this creeping sense of loss, right? There is something amiss, right? And the one word which actually has been describing this is commoditization. So what we thought was that let's stop whispering about this and let's start confronting it, because that's what actually we can bring to the table, right? And this is the time for introspection to see and set things right, because we cannot continue the same way that we've been going. So it's a pleasure to welcome you to today's panel discussion. As she mentioned, the topic is OH media is not a commodity. So who is commoditizing it?
You.
Yeah.
You. Just joking.
So it's not about finger pointing. It's more about actually trying to find answers, because the answers are somewhere in between, and the answers are all here actually, because such an august gathering that's been here. All of you bring so much immense experience to this field. I'm very new to this, but I'm trying to get those thoughts from this team panel. Right? Now, we talk about different things. We talk about unhealthy competition. We talk about inventories which need to be flooded. We talk about uh, reverse auctions, right? So we'll discuss all that and actually much, much more than that. And by the end of the day, we'll try to find out some concrete steps as to how we can actually stop this commoditization which is happening. So without further ado, let me first start from the agencies, right? You guys have been seeing this over a period of time. You guys are doyens of this field. And you've been seeing this unfold, how from very fledgling wall painting kind of days to where we've reached today, right? How that's been changing. And last couple of years, the way the interactions that have changed, right? The way you're interacting with the clients, the way the clients are interacting, right? So what exactly has been happening in this space last couple of years? Dipankar, if I may ask you to lead.
See, a lot of changes have happened ever since. Okay, I'll just give you a background. Some 2 decades back, one of our oldest clients, Kotak Mahindra Bank, the CMO, asked me a very simple question. He asked me, all the services that you provide, how would you rate them? And I gave my rating. So he said, you know, as an agency, as a media agency, you have to attribute 70% to buying, 30% to all the other services, and it stuck with me. So the first premise that yes, rate is very important in the media business, no denying that, okay? But having said that, the change that has happened is because at that point of time, there were a lot of telecom players who were working and they were going berserk with the rates. And that's where the procurement department started coming into the picture and they brought some sense into it. But yes, that was good because, it stopped that berserkness stopped and procurement was able to bring some amount of sanity into the rates. But what happened later on is that procurement became a very important part of all the major clients. And now, previously, they were working with the media, with the marketing team, so they were getting some value out of it. Now, what has happened is the change is the procurement is working on its own, the marketing is working on its own. So there's a huge chasm which has been created. Hence, what the marketing team wants is not what because of this chase of the I would say chasing the ghost kind of thing that the lowest possible rate which doesn't exist. That is bringing a huge difference. Because of which, what the marketing team wants is not what they're getting while chasing the rate. So that's where the commoditization has happened, and that's where the entire process has changed.
Thanks. In fact, the other thing that we were hearing in the last panel also was about the absence of credible and transparent data, right? And that's something which it seems that since there is nothing there, we will go by this. So Abhijit, you've been a big time into this space, right? So how have you seen this thing unfolding, and are you in agreement with this, that it is the lack of transparent data which is leading to commoditization?
So I agree with Dipankar to a certain extent, saying that the procurement has taken over. We pushed the brands out of our daily communication with the agencies. I will agree that we are not just a witness to it; we are a part of the problem. I agree to that.
No, I wasn't pointing out to you. It was just general.
So, but unfortunately, we have stopped talking the language. We have stopped talking the language than the brands, the CMOs that they understand. We got stuck to the rate cards and not the storytelling. So what has happened is that we have moved from the marketing investment column to the the admin expense column, and that's where we can say that the start of commoditization has happened. I mean, we have to bring the brand team back onto the table somehow.
Junaid, as a media owner, right? You are actually the ones who've been seeing this medium grow, right? And would you want to retell the story that we were talking about a while back?
Can't hear you very well.
You want
Junaid, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you very well.
So Junaid, is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, great, fantastic. Okay. So as a media owner, right? You guys have been, and again, it's about the stakeholder media owner, not you per se, right? You guys have been actually seeing how this media has been unfolding, right? From very, very fledgling days to the kind of the PDOH, etc., also which is coming there, right? How have you been seeing this entire medium unfold, right? We were talking about this some time back. So, want to tell that story?
I mean, I can tell you stories about decades ago. Traditionally, out of home started with roadside traditional media, and over time, there were people that realized that they need to follow audiences, and then they moved into deeper pockets of where audiences were. So that's how other transit medium and other mediums started to come. We, as a company, we always actually believed that the right position for a billboard is only when it is on a signal or a junction where you have maximum dwell time. That was how it was known to be. And back in the days, clients used to come to our office, sit with us a few hours, and make sure that they got the media that they wanted. The demand was very high. We used to get advance payments annually. We used to get bookings for minimum booking back then was about a month. Minimum to 1 month to 2 months, and there were brands that were on the billboard for almost years, and that's how brands were built. So we've seen a time where sustenance and businesses were created through long-term association, and those landmarks were known by that brand. So there was a MRF junction known as an MRF junction and Amul junction. From there, we've seen the transition into how other media started to flourish, and I feel that there's a very distinct concentration of media in certain pockets, and there's still a lot of scope in different locations. And I feel that the way we have gone about is we've stuck to our DNA. We've constructed the most iconic assets that actually have at par with global standards. We've focused on technology. We've focused on the inner and the outer aspects of the aesthetic and the design and the technology, and empowered it. And I think from my perspective, 70% of our revenue is derived from those iconic billboards. We've also classified our media bases 15 parameters of visibility index and height, width, and all of those things, and traffic density.
Just one thing we got to hear. We talking about the entire industry. I know that you guys have been doing a fantastic thing.
Sorry?
More about the industry, right?
So at an industry level, this industry has if you compare it to other countries, like you have Australia and New York and stuff, there's still so much scope over here. I think consolidation is required. There's a need for collaboration. I think there are stakeholders that need to come together to kind of define certain parameters, standard parameters. And I think there's associations that need to be empowered. I've seen associations around the world that are very empowered. They've taken up things on a war footing note, and they've been successful.
Yeah, great, thanks. Having heard the agency and the media buyer perspective, right? From the client perspective, right? Now, Gaurav, you've had immense cross-category experience. You've been handling FMCG, you've handled technology, QSRs. Where is OAC still feeling short? Right? Where is it still falling short of expectations? And what does it need to offer today so that it's a part of your media plan?
Check. See, so in my journey of working with different categories and different brands, ranging from Samsung, Domino's to Perfetti, we had different business challenges and therefore different marketing challenges at that point in time. But the medium was same, which is outdoor. But the role has changed in all the three categories. Our expectations from that medium has changed. The medium has evolved. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to capitalize that evolvement of that media. For example, in my days in Samsung, we were supposed to position our products as more premium, as more tech-driven, as more innovative. Hence, my OS solution could be digital first, AI-led planning and technology. Unfortunately, the ecosystem was not ready then. In my days in Domino's, location is the king, and it still is in terms of QSR category. That particular store, that particular day, that particular hour matters to us. But we were still largely, we were suggested plain, simple formats, which were not digital, which were not video, which were only static formats. So it was very important for us to learn through technology and through AI how, when, where we can change our creatives. For example, if it's raining in Delhi, can my outdoor suddenly change in a particular store and it can be a contextual advertising? Unfortunately, it couldn't be at that point in time. In my days at Perfetti, outdoor is important for us in tier 2 and tier 3 markets to build a contextual, cultural OH ecosystem for us. Unfortunately, there also we don't see too much of development happening. So it's largely wall painting, which we are doing in these markets, but we don't see more in the solutions. I think if this category, if this medium needs to evolve, largely it should be more accountable in terms of numbers and measurement. I think gone are those days when we say impact hai, but kitna hai we can't say. Now everything has to be data backed. Now the currency has changed from reach and impression to attention, and that's the most scarce currency in these days. If you can tell me how my campaign has rated in terms of brand lifts, in terms of attention, we'll be more than happy to associate with the medium. Unfortunately, the cost per reach is also high, but we still believe that effective OH is still cheaper than doing an OH which no one has seen and is still cheaper.
Great, thanks. Coming to you, Jay Kishan, right? Now, the big brand that you handle, as you would, right? And a very diverse kind of a portfolio, right? Now, how can marketers like you actually help influence this reversal of commoditization? Right? Because if it's not happening from that side, is it that the marketer can actually, right? We were talking about how earlier marketing was in a way influencing purchase decisions. That seems to be changing now. It may not be happening in your company, but overall, that's what the feel is. So, what can marketers do to make that change?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I've had a very interesting association overall with outdoor. There have been brands that have launched in India at the back of outdoor. Alok is here, we had done this in 2005. When I was with e-commerce, we used to do 40 city, 50 city outdoor campaigns back to back, and this is not too long back. This is just about 5-7 years back, if I would put it, or maybe 10 years back. Of late, the challenge is, if you look at it as a medium, this medium has not reinvented itself up till now, unlike a television or print, which did some kind of reinvention or refresh till some time back. The only other medium that I can think which has not been able to refresh strong is the radio as a platform, and we know how that industry is kind of moving in. Coming to outdoor, I think with the incoming of digital outdoor screens, I think the landscape is changing. How can we encash on it from a programmatic perspective? Again, measurement will come in as a strong tool to aid the spends behind the medium. See, as a marketer, what are the three key things that a marketer would look at? Measurement, accountability, transparency. Unfortunately, I'm sure in the last day and a half, there is a significant amount of conversation that would have happened on these topics. However, I'm saying, when it comes to measurement, there is no syndicated measurement that we see in outdoor. Accountability, I'll probably put a question mark at this point of time. Transparency, I would rather not say anything. Okay, and with regards to commoditizing it and stuff, yeah, if I have a campaign coming in, if there's a cost of 100, the person who's coming in giving me a cost of 90 is again an outdoor guy. So it's not, as a marketer, my job is to push and see if I can kind of get a base price discovery. But if the outdoor partner is willing to keep dropping the prices at each meeting, even I'm happy to kind of see the base price discovery.
Abhijit, would you like to come in and?
I don't know whether we have strategically put me and Dipankar right in the middle of the media owner and the client. But yes, somehow I think we are responsible in an agency where, on a couple of things, that both clients as well as agencies needs to stop treating media owners as vendors. Because if you look at worldwide, whatever investments and innovation happens, it happens grounds up from the media ownership, okay? And they need to hear what the agencies and the clients want in terms of technology, whether it's measurability and all of that. Because they are the owners of the wall, and they can build everything on top of that, and we can just augment it as an agency. So I think that is one sure thing which we have missed. We have pushed them a little too far away. In the last thing, Alok was furious when we talk about that measurability is not there. But the fact is, many media owners are not aware that it is there, yeah, in India. So I think we need to bring them, both the brand team as well as the media owners, back to the table, on the same table, and we speak all the same language.
Yeah, great. I think fair point there. Dadamani.
Sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Post lunch, I believe some of you are in Yoga Nitra. Please come out of your Yoga Nitra.
No, I'm sure nobody will
Okay.
pay. Yeah.
The core problem is basically performance marketing. Why? In the past 2 decades, most of the CEOs were CFOs. CFOs were promoted to become the CEOs, not the CMOs were got promoted to become the CEOs. When that happened, everything is measurable only. Then when you go and sell the hoarding or media space, you sell per square feet basis. How to overcome to be not treated as a commodity is fundamentally you have to come out with the innovation. Go and tell the clients that, this is not a space I'm selling, but I have a unique idea, an execution model that they will like. Talk about the PR value that can be carried with this media. Talk about the social value that it can come together with this. By combining as a package, if you could do that, they can't exactly value against another competitor. So innovation is the only way as a media owner, you can overcome this. When I took the tender in Dubai, the major challenge was, Lakshya has done a fantastic job of building such a great bus shelters 15 years before. They were very visionary. But post that, it was not maintained well. When I took over, this bus shelter were, like looking ugly. And the selling price were pathetic. It's treated as a commodity. First thing what I did, the client belief system in Dubai was, naming rights. Naming rights of a metro station, they really love it. So we thought we can monetize on the same belief. So we came out with the concept of brand station. We wrapped the bus shelter in their brand color. We gave them the 3D signages and everything. And they started liking it. They see the value. At the same time, we aesthetically improved the bus shelters. As we speak today, I am proud to announce we are close to 100% occupancy, which is signed for a long-term contracts. So the only way every fellow media owner can do this is innovation, innovation, innovation. Spend more time with the creative guys. What best you can do, go and present that to the client. The client may like it. I remember at some point of time, few years before, Samsung globally took over a 3D handphone. Every airport they executed, and followed by Emirates also did something like that. One creative agency, a creative idea that was executed globally, it was carried out. So as a media owner, because I only can talk from the media owner point of view, so this is what every media owner should do. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Now, in this chase of lower price points, right, what do you feel we are losing out? One big thing, and we'll start with you.
See, let me put it in simple terms. It's not the chase for lower price points or anything. It's how best can I derive value for a particular unit. So today, and it's like a known thing in the outdoor campaigns that we have done in the past. Well, end of the campaign, I can't put a hand on my heart and say कि boss campaign अच्छा गया. Two reasons. There are umpteen instances wherein during a campaign the vinyl has been changed to some other brand's vinyl. I might have taken it for 21 days, but my campaign has been terminated in 15 days. Again, I am not aware of the instance at that point of time. There could be multiple other reasons. Whatever comes as visible to us, obviously the correction happens out there. But when it comes to going in, I would rather than, if these are the instances that keep on happening, I would rather than minimize my spends on that medium itself, right? And what is going to give me confidence that I can go ahead and complete a 21-day campaign if there are proper metrics coming in, proper measurements coming in, proper supervision data coming in, and something that is acceptable to the industry. Not just, it's not your truth versus my truth. Is the industry accepting it? Is there a central body? Like for example, when you talk about television, we know there is a BARC which is accepted by the industry. In terms of print, while IRS has not come in for quite some time, but there's data, there's syndicated readership numbers that are coming in. And sir, just to also address, it's nothing to do with the CFO asking for some kind of matrix. If you look at it, other mediums also offer similar kind of assurances. Television, the deals have been going on CPRPs for quite some time. Print has been giving us assurances with sales link deals. What is it that I go in with with outdoor, wherein I'm not even sure if my campaign for 21 days is to go last for 21 days.
True, I agree with you. See, basically, the brands that believe in brand equity is far out of our media. It is, everybody know that there is no proper measurement is available in our industry. Even if you go with some measurement, it's all based on the sample data only. There is no absolute data. You will never get one. But overall, based on the city, population and everything estimated, we are still considered to be the lowest in terms of CPM value.
Sir, see, today we go with a certain level of gut feel, confidence, maybe past experience when we go in for an outdoor campaign. It's just that when you kind of hear about instances, our legs and feet on the ground are our sales team. If they come back and say, sir, you said this campaign is going to go for 3 weeks, 2 weeks later we are seeing some other brand, it comes in in a very bad taste.
Agreed.
I'll just respond to that. Thing is, if you say in terms of measurability, I won't say there's enough and more, but yes, there are a lot of tools available in the market, lot of data available in the market, okay, which can justify your spend, kind of sites you're taking, audience measurement, those things are there. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But the steps have been taken. There are clients who are taking that into consideration and moving ahead with it, okay? So the thing is, more the clients accept it, it will evolve. Rather than saying that there is nothing, there is something, there is more than something, that has to be accepted because that is being done not at an individual level, that is being done at an industry level. Like IOAA is pushing it. I think that's where the acceptance, that open-mindedness should be coming in. And while the other clients are accepting it and they're moving ahead with it, I think the more evolved client should go ahead with it and see to it that it reaches that level, because then it's good for the industry, it is good for the clients, good for the brand.
Yeah, I couldn't agree less. The limited point I'm trying to make is that something that you're talking about has been there. It's only been that something for like, I don't know how many years. I've been in the industry for almost 27, 28 years now. And it's always been that something that on the basis of which we have gone ahead and done outdoor campaigns. But unfortunate thing is that something has not moved into something larger. It's just remained at that something.
So sorry, I'm going to speak on behalf of all the fellow media owners here. See, year on year, India's population is growing. Does anyone have a doubt about it? Year on year, India's disposable income is growing. Does anyone have a doubt about it here? No. We are the only industry which operates on deflationary, not on inflationary method. Price year on year is getting crushed. Your margins are getting crushed year on year. There is no way to, no, we don't have the measurable numbers, but I can guarantee and say we are the lowest in CPM providing you the brand equity building.
One is this aspect, which is the cost part.
Not to argue, but I want to share the view because not everyone has the mic. At least I should take a liberty to talk on behalf of them.
Sir, the low CPM would be your number versus my number. But it's not the industry number. That's a limited point.
No, fine. That's I said. It's a deflationary asset. If you ask your procurement, they will say, last year I spent 20 crores on 100 boards for there. This year they would have only spent 15 crores. Or 10 crores. They have never increased the budget to 30 crores for the same number of billboards.
I think we're digressing from the core of the from commodity. We need to discuss how to not to commoditize the industry. And I think we are aware that we need data. I think there are data points. There are several data points. Each agency has their own data points. What we're predominantly discussing is that how do we reach to that bigger, more effective data points which can be used for creative adaptations and creative execution. So my question, if I may ask, we have third-party data. I think SDK is widely accepted, and that's basically predominantly what the common data that is available. But what about first-party data? What do you see? How do you want to see data? How do you want to authenticate and believe in the data? Because we have implemented a computer vision data, which is first party, which is giving you exact dwell time live. And we have about 2 years of data, which is giving you exactly the vehicle type, the dwell time, the time and hour of the day, the heat maps and all of that. Would that be more sufficient? As opposed to a SDK data, which is more...
That definitely would be something really good to start with. See, because the way you're mentioning it, these are conversations that typically happen when a large campaign is going in and you ask the agency partner to tell us what kind of measurement will you share with us. So these are conversations that happen.
Yes.
At times there's some data also that comes in, but by and large, it's not a practice to share these kind of information and data for most of the campaigns.
Right. But how do you think you could use that data for creative execution?
I'd like to add on that. So the reporting has evolved in these days. It's not about only pre-planning, it's about post-planning also.
Yes.
So for example, you have given us data in this particular area, this is the heat map, these kind of audience you want to target. But I don't know what are the scores that particular campaign has lifted in terms of my brand track if I've done that campaign. For example, in my stint with Domino's, we used to do outdoor hoardings whenever we feel any stress in any particular store. We used to do our outdoor hoarding. At times, we used to get business as an incremental revenue. At times, we don't. We still don't know whether outdoors help us to get additional revenue, additional incremental awareness. It improves my spawn course, it increases my brand love. These are the reports which generally comes post-campaign, and then we can implement those learnings in the next phase of the campaign. Unfortunately, this is the reason outdoor has become a tactical medium. It's not always on. Let's do it for 2 weeks. My Mancom is coming. Someone is traveling from, let's say, global team. Buy outdoor in the entire golf course road and show them we're doing something. When they're gone, the hoarding's off. To be part of always on campaign, there has to be something which is after campaign. What has that campaign done for my brand? Is my brand love increased? Is my reasons to believe for this brand has increased? If my more reasons to buy for that brand increase, this is something which is slightly a black hole in outdoor campaigns these days.
How much of, I mean, just out of curiosity, in campaigns that you execute, how much of your personal involvement is there in order to actually see the qualitative aspect of a campaign?
So we have an agency.
Most of the conversation is just boils down to number of sites and number of frequency and building assets. How do you actually evaluate whether this campaign has got what it has got what can complement the brand in terms of its aesthetics or appeal or kind of its impact value?
See, largely
I'm talking about a personal involvement of CMOs.
So not about CMOs, but CMOs is a big team who can manage the entire any marketing campaign. So it's not about managing a particular medium; it's managing entire campaign ecosystem as a whole.
Yes.
So, for example, we are only limited to buy those sites or sell those sites. We are saying we have commoditized this media. I'm saying yes, but it's not about the buyers, it's sellers also. We always talk about rates when it comes to a particular outdoor campaign.
His question is precisely what he is trying to ask is it the count you want or individually addressable audience you need?
It's the quality and the addressable audience, not the number of sites we want. It's not the count of sites that matters.
I think the agencies now would need to barge in because...
So let's hear from the agencies because this is something that was happening in the past, right? What has it happened that over the last couple of years things seem to have actually declined?
Can we touch upon this measurability, because I think that's the centerpiece of the. We saw how it touched the nerve of Alok Jalan, and it's very. He got angry, and I got sad that in the last 2 days, many people are not aware that the work that has been put in by IOAA and the fraternity in terms of the measurability. Would you like me to take through quickly?
I think very quickly.
Yeah. So, Roadstar, which has been approved by IOAA, we have taken this to the JICS team, the Joint Industry Committee teams of a worldwide JICS team. They have approved of it. There is nothing wrong in SDK data, especially where we are a very populous country, which means that if I have to do any IoT device or a camera device, we need lots and lots of investment. Okay? So SDK data is nothing wrong. I'll tell you, I'll give you the sample, I'll give you the numbers. So every day we are getting 10 to 12 crores of daily average users, which is around 100 to 120 million users. Now, not all of them we use. We retain around 4 crores, which is rough, but actually 3.8 crores of panels, okay? And we are tracking their movement every minute and every hour. Okay? We have within the system around 1.6 lakh media sites. We have 31 lakhs point of interest. Now, why this point of interest is used is to create a geo-demographic of all the users based on the places of interest that they visit. If it is a 5-star hotel, the clubs, the premium salons, another city, out of the 10, if 7 gets ticked, then we say that that's an affluent class. Then college goers, we identify them as separately. In the previous thing, Prateep from MRF was saying that, in digital, they get these, cohorts of target audience. The cohorts of target audience in Roadstar is 312. So you can actually pick and choose. And because 312 is very overwhelming, so there is an AI to tell you that which other cohorts are the right fit for you. Now let's compare back home, let's compare this with BARC. Okay? BARC has a sample size of 34 lakhs, right? And our sample size is 3.8 crores. In Mumbai, BARC has 16,000. We have 34 lakhs. So that's the variance we are talking about. And there are two big specialists in research in out-of-home in the world, Neil Edelston and Gideon Eddy. They have really, really liked what has been created here in India. So we need to believe it. And trust me, when you do digital geo-targeting, you can do, at the most, the smallest size will be 500 meters, right? Our data is captured at a 50-meter radius, polygons, 50-meter polygons. That's the level of targeting that we are doing. Going forward, because we are using MAIDs, everyone can open up an Android ad, and in the settings, you can search ads, and you will get the MAID of your mobile phone. It is highly possible we can do retargeting, we can do attribution. How many people have seen which billboard and visited the store or the real estate? It's highly possible. You are talking about lift, I am talking about also lift. But we have not explored because we have not crossed the first hurdle of reach, frequency, impressions given by us to the users.
Now coming to this, I think it's a fantastic point, but if here people representing FMCG, if they are not aware of it, then certainly there is something which is amiss. So how can
we need to do a lot. We need to do a lot to create the awareness,
and
yes.
I think that's where we need to learn from the digital agencies or the digital companies, the way they've been coming and showing that kind of data. Right? But all this may fall to deaf ears if marketing is not involved in the along with purchase. Right? So are you right? Because these numbers that we're talking about.
So I just want to understand the nomenclature when you say procurement. Are you referring to hardcore business procurement, or are you also referring to media buying team or the media team as procurement team?
You asking me?
No, I'm just asking because that there was a mention of procurement.
Yeah. So
we are talking about purchase department.
Purchase department, yeah.
See, I don't know about other divisions, but at least the companies that I worked for, it's always the media team that has been at the forefront of engaging with the business partners from the Outdoor fraternity. The marketing team is absolutely involved in the entire process, while they might not be the front face of it, but they are the people who are finally kind of giving a go-ahead on the final sites that are being shortlisted and shared with them.
The point that we were raising is, see, the reason why it is getting, I would say, commoditized or marginalized is because of the reason that the procurement and the marketing, they are not aligned to the outcome. That is where the problem is rising. So while marketing, as you would select the sites basis whatever reasons that you have, when the purchaser is buying it, he's not looking at all those metrics. He's buying at a per square feet level, and that's where the game changes. So what you want is not what you are getting. And that is the problem of commoditization, and that is where it is
I understand.
going wrong.
That's the reason I actually just clarified, saying as a process, this is
Yeah.
what I have been.
If you both are on the same page, you would get the value that you need, and at the same time the rate, definitely.
In the previous discussion, we were talking about two examples. One was the way Amul and the other was Apple, the way they've been doing. Right? Now, if it's the same landscape for everybody, it's the same, right? But still, they are looking at this in a very different manner. Right? Is there some learning from these two big brands that we as marketers can carry?
Yeah, I think one key learning that I can pick up is the creatives. Okay, I don't think the brand team actually spends time in terms of looking at creatives. It kind of comes as a part of the static shoot from a TVC that is being shot. Some images get picked up saying, "Isko print pe bhi chalayenge, isko outdoor pe bhi chalayenge." I haven't seen a conversation ever happening saying, "Ki boss, do we have a creative for outdoor?" I don't even think even creative agencies today have people to think outdoor. Okay, and therefore, when we talk about innovation, I think there is also a dire need of having proper creative people who can think outdoor. See, what did Apple do? Yeah, Apple just actually picked up some interesting pictures, picked up some very good locations, and put it up, and everybody started noticing it. The current campaign with that shot on Apple iPhone and drawn on Apple iPad, I'm sure everybody's seen it. Yeah? Even if you would have seen one hoarding, one creative, the job is done.
Yeah.
But when it comes to looking at, bad way to put it, let's say one society tea, iced tea creative that is kind of coming up. 4 बोतलें डाल दी खत्म हो गया यार. मतलब by the time you pass that hoarding, it's not even registered what are the 4 flavors that are put up. So where is the creative bent of mind in terms of that message from an outdoor perspective? Because everybody knows that your visibility to a particular site is probably 3, 4, 5 seconds, and putting in so much of text or images, you need to decipher when you're either on the drive or viewing it for a very limited time.
But Jed, that is the point. We need to move away from that. We are just talking about sites. I mean, today you saw that example of Bude Ban Ke Hoke Kya Banoge. That is something. So today's technology is being used. Outdoor is being used. The traditional format is being used. At the same time, it is going viral. I mean, we worked on Tata for Hexa where a plane was pulled. Now, what happened to that? I mean, that is something which is going viral. That is outdoor. That is idea. That is something which is. I mean, what measurability? What will you do? I mean, where is that measurability? It's the idea, which is the thought, which is.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Dipankar.
Yeah.
Where is the thought or the creative is coming into the entire outdoor campaign? It's missing overall, right from the advertiser's end, the agency's end, and the creative agency's end.
You need to get all of them together, including them, because they are the owners of the wall. They know what will work. I mean, if you involve them, everything will get done. We are, at one point in time, we were too reliant on the agencies like us to create ideas, but it has to be a holistic. It has to be holistic with the creative team, the media owners, the specialist agencies. Then the magic will
I
come
think
back.
it's about time, because the way the industry's evolved is DOOH has come in, and with that already a lot of organized practices have come in. The ones that are actually working towards that, I mean, investing heavily, are the media owners. We've done several campaigns where we've got extremely amazing results, and especially with the dynamic technology, I feel that there's a need for clients and marketers to have specialized teams that understand that, how to leverage those technologies. And I feel that the industry sincerely requires specialists, also including creative agencies, in their brainstorming sessions. That's what's required, because we have now we have the differentiation. Earlier we didn't, but now we can say that there is differentiation.
Thanks so much, Janil. I think. Yeah, sure.
Point. So we have done a new commercial happening. It's a 90-second commercial these days. Everybody is doing a 10-second, 20-second. We've done a 90-second commercial happening. We've done it on TV. We have done it on digital. We were waiting for people as to message us what a wonderful creative you have made. It's a beautiful creative. Trust me, nobody has messaged us. We put one site on Golf Course Road. The same. It was an afterthought. We took one image from a creative and put it on outdoor screen. It was innovative outdoor. We've got so many messages. So the power is there in the medium. It's very impactful. It moves hearts. It's changed mind. It changed perceptions. I think we just all need to work together.
Thanks so much, Gaurav. I think we've over exceeded our time. But thank you so much, the entire panel, for your clarity, for your candor, and for your conviction. Thank you so much to the audience also. You've been fantastic. Thanks.
This has been an incredibly rich panel. Thank you so much for your experience that you shared with us on stage. We invite Mr. Siddharth Anand Jha from Havels to kindly join us on stage to present the memento, to thank our panelists, our moderator. This has truly been one of those panel discussions that was animated and so many takeaways. So everybody in the audience, I know that you want your questions. You can meet up with the panelists and the moderator offline during the tea break later today. But right now, we'd like to thank each one of our panelists, our moderator. Thank you so much for being here today, Mr. Vinay Pant. We'd like to thank Mr. Jaikishan Chapru. Thank you for your presence. Mr. Gaurav Soni, appreciate your contribution. Mr. Dipankar Sanyal, thank you for joining us. It's been really amazing. Mr. Abhijit Sen Gupta, your contribution, really appreciated. Thank you so much. We invite and thank Mr. Dato Manikanda Murthy Velayodam. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Mr. Junaid Sheikh, appreciate your contribution on stage. Everybody, what a panel it's been. If you had questions and thoughts and you really enjoyed this panel, join me in thanking them. A huge, huge round of applause. Please, please join us for the group photograph. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Siddharth Anand Jha. Ladies and gentlemen, they're there. They're posing the group photograph. I think an applause would be just perfect. Let's give it up.